Welcome to the free training 5 Secrets to a Successful E-commerce Store, where I'm going to be revealing exactly how I've built my e-commerce business to gross more than $3 million in sales in less than 4 years. Since launching in 2019, my business has doubled in revenue every single year, and as of making this training, it's doing more than $250,000 in revenue every single month. With this kind of fast growth, I get a lot of people reaching out wanting to know how I've built this business and how I managed to scale so quickly. So the goal with the free training and with my paid program, The Digital Entrepreneur, is to teach you step by step everything I've done so far so that you can implement the same strategies into building your own e-commerce store and achieve similar results. I want to emphasize I do not teach or guarantee any get-rich-quick schemes. So I'll provide you with the framework and the tools that I've used to get to this point, and I'm highly confident that you will experience the same success if you use this framework, these tools, and my guidance. Now, who is this training exactly for? If you're somebody who wants to start from scratch or you want to scale your existing e-commerce business, this is for you. Before we start, let me give you an overview of what you can expect from this free training. First 3 minutes, I'll be giving you a quick background about who I am and how I got started into e-commerce. And then we'll dive into 5 secrets to a successful e-commerce business. After that, I'll explain what my paid course includes for anyone who is interested in learning beyond this free training. I will also offer an exclusive discount for everyone who sticks around until the end of this training. Near the end, we'll be going over some frequently asked questions, which I'm sure many of you are going to have. So without further ado, let's get started on this training. First off, my name is Kamal Sani. I'm the owner and the founder of a 7-figure e-commerce brand, Tesloid Accessories. I started my e-commerce journey back in 2019 while I was working at my full-time job as an electrical engineer right out of university. Very quickly, I realized that the corporate world was not for me, and I started looking for alternatives. Basically, I hated the concept of having to be at a certain place at a certain time. So I knew that I have to do something in the context of this idea of time and location freedom. E-commerce ticked all those boxes, but I had absolutely no idea on how e-commerce businesses are run and how even money is made online, or even how a website is made. I spent months on months trying to figure out everything on my own, and I started my e-commerce journey by selling on eBay and Amazon first, because I didn't even know how to make a website. As I made a little bit of money, then I launched my own website, because that's where the real money is. We're going to get into this later. Fast forward to this year, in 2023, my business is doing more than $250,000 in sales every single month on the website. From day one till now, I have learned a lot about running an online business. I've spent close to $500,000 in advertising costs. So I know the roadmap on how to take an online business from 0 to 6 and even 7 figures in revenue. Before we go into the 5 secrets, I want to quickly touch base on 3 common doubts that people have that keep them from launching an e-commerce business. Limiting beliefs must be eliminated prior to learning about business, because your mindset is a very crucial pillar that is going to propel you in the world of business. You need your mind to work for you and not against you. So let's dispel some doubts before we begin. I want to make it clear, if you have any questions about any topics throughout this whole training, feel free to email me at any time. You can send me an email at the email address written on the screen. Okay, let's begin. Doubt number 1, e-commerce is saturated and there's no room for new businesses. That is absolutely wrong. While e-commerce is a competitive space, it is far from saturated. The online market is so enormous and continues to grow by the billions every single year, and you can get a pie of that too. In 2023 alone, e-commerce revenue stands at $925 billion, and that is expected to cross $1.3 trillion by just the year 2026. This offers billions of dollars of growth for niche businesses online. And niching down your business is one of the main pillars of this training, and as well as my paid program. We focus heavily on finding the right niche because we have to set ourselves up for success after launching the business. So niching down is extremely important and cannot be overlooked. We will dive deeper into this in the later parts of this training. So I hope this has dispelled your doubts about e-commerce being too saturated. I guarantee if you niche down, you make a brand for your business, and you will have no issues with finding customers that you can sell to. And that's my promise to you. Doubt number 2, it's way too expensive to start an e-commerce business. Starting an e-commerce website requires just $1. And I'm not even kidding. Introducing Shopify. Shopify is the world's biggest platform for e-commerce businesses. They have $1 a month trial for the first 3 months. So what's the worst that can happen? You try for 90 days and you lose $3. That's the worst case scenario. Even Starbucks will cost you more and leave you with diabetes. And you're probably wondering, what about my inventory? Don't I have to buy bulk products and then try to sell them? No, absolutely not. We're not putting any money up front for bulk inventory. I have a system which we will discuss later in this training. If you follow my system, you're not spending any money up front for any bulk inventory. So do not worry about that. Doubt number 3, you need to be a tech expert to run an e-commerce store. Not at all. I have precisely 0 coding knowledge. While having technical abilities can help, but majority of the work that will be done is all plug and play. Thanks to advanced tools like Shopify, your website will be based on a pre-built theme, which means you don't have to know any coding. Your website will be all plug and play. So don't worry about the technical aspect. With the right guidance, you can navigate around this very easily. So now that we've gotten our doubts out of the way, hopefully you're feeling more confident and think this is actually doable. Now let's jump into our 5 secrets to a successful e-commerce store. Secret number 1, the niche. Let's first talk about the basics. What is a niche and why is it so important? Niche is a specialized segment of a market. The key reason why you want to niche down is because it's easier to sell to a specific group of people. If you're selling to anyone and everyone, your brand does not really have a mission or a purpose. And that is a recipe for disaster. Let me explain. Imagine you want to start a clothing brand. That's obviously such a big market. The competition is insane. You're going to get crushed. The way you would fix that problem is by narrowing down the people who you're going to market to. So let's narrow it down a little further. A women's clothing brand. That's a little bit narrowed down, but it's still such a huge market that you're going to be wiped out by the existing competition with their billion-dollar budgets. But think of this. A clothing brand for women that sells scrubs for nurses. That is much, much better. You actually have a chance at making a memorable brand for the world to recognize because you are specializing in something. And that is the key. That's how this game works. People in the nursing community will eventually start recognizing your company because your products are specialized exactly for them. Picking the right niche is an extremely important factor because it determines the longevity of the brand and the probability of the success of your business that you're going to create. Another reason why you want to niche down is because it's easier to build a loyal customer base, and you need that to survive long in business. Let me explain this to you. Ask yourself, is it easier to be the most popular person from a group of 10 people or a group of 100 people? Group of 10, right? Exactly, because you have lesser competition. If your business is catering to a specific group of people with certain needs and solving certain problems only, the word spreads faster there as compared to anywhere else because it's a smaller and a more connected community. Now that we have established why a niche is important, let's talk about how to evaluate if a niche is worth starting a brand in. This is the most crucial step because we need to determine if a certain niche is worth your time, your effort, and your money. What are the advantages of selling products in the niche? What are the disadvantages? What are the potential obstacles? What are the potential problems that you might face in that market? We will try our best to make a calculated decision. Of course, you won't be able to determine every single potential problem because that's quite frankly impossible, but we will approach this in a more calculated manner. So once you decide on a niche, I want you to ask the following questions. For this video, we're going to be examining the pet products niche. First question, what kind of customers would I be selling to? It's very important to understand your own customers. Who are your potential customers? Pet owners, obviously. Whenever you sell online, you're going to be selling to one of these 3 people. There's the passion-driven customers, the need-driven customers, and the impulse-driven customers. Passion-driven people are people who are passionate and there's emotional connection involved. Need-driven is when somebody has a certain problem that they're looking to solve. Impulse-driven customers are people who care a lot about the price and they would rather get the best deal as opposed to the best value. For pet owners, they mostly fall under the passion-driven customers because they're passionate about their pets because they love them. There's an emotional connection. So you're selling to passion-driven customers if you're selling pet products. What's the best kind of people you want to sell to? You're probably thinking now, it's either passion-driven or need-driven. So understand your customers. I personally really like passion-driven more because when people are passionate, they care about the price less. They put less weight on the price as compared to need-driven and impulse-driven customers. So I give this question a check mark. Give yourself a green check mark if this question fits in the ideal criteria of the niche. Second question, what are the demographics of my potential customers? Things like age and location are also factors that determine and influence your success. We need to be data driven. So let's look at some stats. To sum this up, stats tell us that the customers between the range of 24 and 54 spend the most money online. So it's beneficial for you if your potential customers fall in this range. As per data, millennials, aka people who are between the ages of 25 and 40, are the biggest portion of pet owners. Then ask yourself, what location are your potential customers in? If you're living anywhere in the West or in Europe or countries like Australia, England, and New Zealand, you have more than enough potential customers in your country because pet owners are literally everywhere. So this is also a green check mark. For these questions that we were asking about the pet products niche, it is safe to say that the demographics are on our side. The age and location of the potential customers are ideal. So I would give this a green check mark. Third question I want you to be asking yourself is, what are the size and the price of the products that I can sell? This is a good question to ask yourself because as per my experience, the price range of products within the $50 to $200 range are the easiest and the best to sell online because you can make a healthy profit margin on these prices and they're within the impulse buying ranges. So think about it, making 5 sales a day at a profit margin of 25% on an item that sells for $200 will net you $7,500 every single month. And that's the net profit. Just 5 sales a day. And that's not that hard to achieve. Trust me. Physical size of your product will also have an effect on your profit margins as well. The larger a product gets, more it costs to move it around. Either that is from your supplier to you and then from you to your customers. These shipping costs can add up rather quickly. So be aware. So I highly suggest that you stay away from oversized products. Looking at the pet products niche, we also have a green check mark here because majority of pet toys are small, lightweight, and very easy to ship. And they also don't get outdated every year. So another green check mark here. Fourth question, is there market demand for a niche? We want to find demand and we want to fill that demand. So it's important to know what we're getting into. There are some free ways to find this out and there's also some paid ways. So let's talk about the basics. First, a simple Google search. Let's Google pet ownership trends. After landing on this website, you can see just in the US alone, there were 9 million pets added just in 2020. 9 million, that's a huge jump. And even if you look at the normal growth for the pet industry, the projections show a growth of 1 to 2% every year. 1 to 2% means almost 3 million new pet owners are added to the market every single year. This is a perfect indication of an industry that is growing by the year. And this is exactly what we want to get into because we want a little piece of that growth. So I'm going to give this a green check mark as well. There are also some other ways to see if the search volume for a certain product is increasing, such as Google Trends or websites like answerthepublic.com. Most of the times, just a Google search engine alone can be used to find out if an industry is growing and is worth investing in. Let me know if you have anything you need help on this topic, as this is extremely important. And now, let's do a quick summary of all our questions and what our evaluation is leading to. We have 4 out of 4 check marks, which means that a niche like pet products is a good niche to get your e-commerce business started in. Now, This doesn't mean that every pet product business will be successful for sure, because a lot of it depends on the actual person who starts that business. But this is good enough evidence that you can find demand and supply to that demand in this niche. I want you to pick your niche the exact same way. Ask yourself these same questions, gather data. And I personally mentor people one-on-one in my paid program because picking the right niche is vital for success. Secret number 2, the website. You're probably thinking, how can this be a secret? Everybody knows you need a website to sell online. Yes, that's true, but the amount of people who actually know how to make a converting website is extremely low. It's so low that I count this as a secret. If you don't know what I mean by a converting website, it's self-explanatory. If someone visits your website, they're counted as a visitor. It is your job to convert them to a customer. So in order for you to do that, you need to be having a converting website, a website that converts as visitors to customers. That's extremely important. And I focus heavily on this in my website, and I highly recommend you focus on it too. Listen to this carefully. Think of your website as a bridge. You have people at point A as just visitors to the bridge. Once you start walking from point A to point B, which is on the other end of the bridge, it is your job to make sure that you have a good enough bridge that the visitor can reach from point A to point B without any issues and obstacles. So, to put this into perspective, a good website should have no barriers to checkout. What I mean by this is once a person comes to your website, you should point them in the direction of checking out with no unnecessary distractions along the way. I see a lot of people have random pop-ups, bullshit ads, and text that distracts his visitors. You want to help your visitors make a decision and do it in the shortest amount of time possible. This includes things like getting straight to the point, not having unnecessary text, having a bunch of high quality photos, having a coherent theme, and being absolutely clear with your text and photos. We want to minimize all guesswork. This is literally an art, and it's not that easy to understand, but I will break it down for you in easy and actionable steps. I have very high standards for my students when it comes to their websites, and personally review every single website that my students make so they can convert their visitors and start making sales as soon as possible. If you want the ultimate checklist that goes through every single point of a converting website, reach out to me via email, Facebook, or Instagram, and I'll send it to you for free. The details are on the screen. So let's talk about the platform first. The platform that I recommend you start your website on is called Shopify. Shopify is the world's largest e-commerce platform, and they offer a 90-day trial for just $1 a month. And since we want to minimize all our costs, we will be making our website on Shopify. It has all the tools you need to get your e-commerce business off the ground and start making sales ASAP. Let's quickly go over the components of a converting website. There's a lot more, but we'll focus on the 5 most important ones. Logo and name. The name and logo is oftentimes the first impression that a visitor has of a business. I treat the name and logo like a story. They need to be clearly communicating your business mission, values, and purpose. People tend to overcomplicate this a lot. You don't need a sophisticated logo and a very sophisticated name. What you need is simplicity. In today's day and age, where consumers are bombarded with visuals 24/7 through their smartphones, you need to make sure that your name and logo are very easy to remember. Your business name should be short, 1 or maximum 2 words, not 3, not 4. Make it short, make it simple, and make it easy to remember. This allows for better brand recall because if your business name is easy to pronounce and spell, it will help you to attract word of mouth marketing. Some good examples of really good one-word name businesses are Rolex, Target, Omega, IKEA, Samsung, Apple, and so on. Okay, moving on to the logo. First of all, it should be HD, high definition, free of any pixelation, and make sure it appears clearly on your website, which puts a good first impression of your products. Remember, if your website is high quality, the customers have a perceived high quality because they can't physically see your products. So the first interaction they have with your business is the website itself. So make sure it feels premium. And your logo should be large enough to easily spot on all your web pages. When it comes to colors, make sure you're not using more than 2 colors. Most successful brands in the world only use 1 or maximum 2 colors in their logo. Your logo should not have a lot of intricate details because it appears in a small area on the pages, so you want it to be easy to recognize and easy to understand. So use a lot of thick lines and contrasting colors. On screen are some examples of what a good logo versus what a bad logo looks like. My personal favorite websites to make logos are Wix Logo Maker, Canva, Adobe, Logo.com, and Shopify Logo Maker. Let's jump on to the next section, theme. Your website needs to have a good theme. Once you sign up for Shopify, you can use one of their 12 free themes to start. And I personally really like the theme named Dawn and Origin. Simple and straight to the point, exactly how we like it, and exactly what's going to be helping us to convert visitors to customers. Your theme should be extremely clear in communicating to visitors exactly what your business is about, what you sell, and answer all of their pre-purchase questions up front by having clear text and amazing photos. Next important component of your website is copywriting. Copywriting refers to the text on your website. I personally like to use bullet points for all my product pages because it's the easiest way to follow and is proven to convert visitors more than long paragraphs. Because let's be honest, who wants to read that much? This is a distraction. We don't want any distractions. We want bullet points and a bunch of great photos. This is the key to a converting web page. I'll quickly go over an example for you. I love to use AI tools to assist me in my business, so we're going to use AI for copywriting. ChatGPT is great for this. I don't want you to copy everything for ChatGPT, but what I want you to do is get your first draft from there. Make sure you copy my exact prompt when using ChatGPT for copywriting. Imagine you're selling a dog bed on your website. This is the exact prompt I want you to use. You are an award-winning copywriter in the pet products niche. You're known for your clear and concise copy that is highly converting for the visitors on your website. I'm selling a comfy bed for dogs. Write a copy with 3 bullet points. And voila. Look at that. That's amazing. Clear and straight to the point. Now you can take this copy and edit it to better suit your product. This stuff costs thousands of dollars if you hire somebody to do it, but I'm teaching you how to do it for free using AI. Next component of a converting website are the images you use. Look, the images on your website are a direct reflection of the quality of products that you sell. If you're not able to have clean, crisp, and high quality images to show that you stand for quality, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Trust me. We like to tell everybody, don't judge a book by its cover, but we all do it. This is innate nature. The visitors on your website can't physically see or feel your products, so their first judgment of its quality is going to be your product images. Research shows that people only remember 10% of what they read online and 65% of what they see. This fact alone should convince you to invest highly on good quality photos. Just do it and you'll thank me later. The next component of a converting website are the product pages. Now, product pages are a way of displaying the amazing copywriting and high quality images that you're going to be using. If you're following my advice of using Spotify themes Dawn or Origin, you won't have any problems making a great product web page. You just need the photos and the copywriting to be supporting each other in a very coherent way. And this concludes the section for creating a converting website. There's a lot more, but I have given you a solid chunk here. Let me know if you have any further questions. Secret number 3, the marketing. They say marketing is 50% of the job, and that's totally true. We're going to split this section into 2 parts. There are 2 ways to market your business: organic and paid. Both are equally important for an e-commerce business. These are the organic channels that e-commerce businesses can benefit from being present on. They include platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook groups, and online forums like Reddit. Paid platforms that you want to be advertising on also include Facebook ads, TikTok ads, and Google ads. I would stick with these 3. As a brand owner in 2023, you absolutely must know how to tap into organic marketing. It's vital because it's zero budget. Check out how one of my students generated a massive TikTok following in just 2 months simply through ASMR videos for their brand. They generated thousands of dollars from scratch and with a $0 ad budget. You should focus heavily on organic channels because if you're able to go viral on even one of them, you will open a whole new growth opportunity for your business. My students have consistently gone viral on TikTok and have generated thousands in revenue monthly. Once you're able to generate a cash reserve for your business from organic methods, now you're ready to put that money towards paid ads. That's how you truly kickstart a business with no money up front. Of course, I'm not saying that paid ads don't work, They absolutely and certainly work. But if you're strapped for cash, focusing heavily on organic marketing could really solve that problem, exactly like how it solved for my students. If you want some inspiration, check out Jeep House on TikTok and look at how well their videos are doing. With a very limited catalog, they were able to generate more than $13,000 USD in just 3 months. Now, they're using this money to invest into growing their business. Organic marketing not only includes TikTok and Instagram, there's also another secret. Places like Facebook groups, Reddit, and other online forums are where a lot of like-minded people hang out. And what happens where a lot of like-minded people hang out? They talk about their passions and they talk about their problems. And that's where your ideal clients are. This is how I got started back in 2019. There were no TikTok or Instagram Reels. This is exactly what I did. Join a bunch of Facebook groups related to my niche and analyze what people are talking about, what kind of products they're mentioning. So imagine if somebody was looking to solve a problem that one of your products could solve. Bam, you post that link in that post, you might have a sale. That's how I got started back in 2019, and I got a bunch of sales just using this method alone. And this method absolutely still works in 2023. As long as you don't come across as too salesy and you're able to be authentic when you talk about the products, people will listen. They will click on your ads and eventually buy that product. We go into more detail with the exact strategies that I used in my paid course, and I also provide the templates on how to post into Facebook groups and online forums and get sales through them. This is an amazing method that works to get initial sales and feedback from your market. Paid ad platforms that work great for e-commerce are Facebook ads, TikTok ads, and Google ads, like we mentioned. Now, this is a whole 2-hour masterclass on its own, but let's run through the main points. We'll focus on the main value that we can get from paid ads. We'll focus on the key points from this section. In order to be successful for paid ads, you need to have a successful sales funnel that consistently feeds new visitors to your site and makes them buy eventually. For TikTok ads, you should only run vertical video ads, and for Facebook ads, you can run a variety of creatives ranging from photos to carousels and videos, of course. For my business, generally videos perform the best on Facebook and TikTok. They can be either portrait or landscape. For Facebook, it doesn't matter, but for TikTok, you only want vertical. And make sure the video ad that you use is less than 10 seconds in length. Ideally 6 seconds or less. They work the best for e-commerce because they're quick to grab attention. So my sales funnel usually consists of 3 steps. First, I get as many eyeballs as possible on my business through awareness ad campaigns. After I run the ad for a week, I retarget the same people who clicked on my ad through a Facebook pixel. But I just don't retarget anyone and everyone. I only retarget visitors who not only clicked on my ad, but they have spent a good amount of time on my website. That way, I can really put my advertising dollars to use because I'm retargeting visitors who are well aware of my business and the products that I sell. So through TikTok and Facebook ads, you take cold visitors. Cold visitors are people who are basically being exposed to your brand for the first time. And then you warm them up and you take them down your funnel until they are ready to buy. I'm basically explaining a sales funnel in a nutshell. We go through each step of the funnel in the paid program to make sure that every dollar you spend is working for you. Now, when it comes to Google ads, they work a little differently. You have to bid on the keyword terms for your products. Whenever somebody searches for a certain keyword, Google will present your products to them. To sum this up, make sure you're optimizing for conversions on TikTok and Facebook ads and are targeting the right keywords for your niche on Google ads. Remember, you need a healthy combination of paid and organic marketing in your business. Your marketing has to be this nexus of various different channels that we just talked about. These channels will continuously feed in more customers to your business month over month, and your job is to run this all on autopilot. There are other additional ways to market yourself, like blog posts, sponsorships that are also covered in the paid program, but I've given you a solid chunk here. This concludes the marketing section. Secret number 4, the suppliers. Now, before you go and look for suppliers, I have a little hack for you that's going to save you a lot of money and headache. Before you start looking for suppliers, instead of putting money up front for inventory, I want you to drop ship products from places like CJ Dropshipping, Amazon, AliExpress, and Alibaba. And no, you're not doing this forever. You're only doing this while you're still validating your business idea. Since you don't even know yet for sure that you can actually sell these products, I would advise you stay away from buying any bulk inventory or investing a lot of money into inventory upfront. So a quick overview of this would be you order product X from Amazon, then you try to sell it at a slightly higher price through organic channels and then ship the same product to the customer when you actually get a sale. I want to repeat, you're not doing this forever. You're only doing this so you can validate your business plan first. And then you can put money into inventory once you've validated it. This is exactly the same process that my students at Jeep House took. And then once you have sales and some cash, then the next step would be to find suppliers to buy bulk inventory. Once you're at this stage, you should understand that suppliers are your partners in business. So be sure to work with good ones. These are the companies and the people that you will be working with that provide you products that you'll be selling in your store. Now, the best place to start, in my opinion and in my experience, is looking for suppliers on Alibaba. Alibaba is the world's largest platform with more than 200,000 suppliers from all around the world. Most Alibaba suppliers are from China. Now, that has its advantages and disadvantages. Let's go over these first, and then we'll talk about how to use this platform effectively. Advantage number one, since the suppliers are mostly from China, you're looking to save anywhere between 3 to 5x as compared to sourcing your products from a local supplier. So this leaves you with a very healthy profit margin to work with. Advantage number two, a lot of suppliers are available 24/7 and will reply mostly within 2 to 3 hours at most. Even on weekends, on-time communication is very important for business. I personally hate suppliers who take days to reply. With Alibaba, because you have so many choices, they're forced to work hard and provide on-time communication because they know that you will simply find a new supplier if they don't reply on time. So on-time communication is a huge plus when you're working with suppliers from Alibaba. Advantage number three. You get Alibaba's trade assurance. If the supplier gives you a hard time or doesn't deliver the item on time or doesn't deliver the quality that they promised, you can file a complaint with Alibaba and get a refund. So this secures your investment. Advantage number four, suppliers are open to working with low or no MOQs. MOQs are minimum order quantities, which basically means that you must order a certain quantity if you want to place an order with a supplier. As a new business owner who doesn't have a big budget, this is very helpful for you because you can get away with ordering very small quantities. And then when you start selling, you can slowly and gradually increase those quantities. Let's dive into some disadvantages with Alibaba as well, because it's important for us to know. Number one, language barrier. A lot of suppliers you will find on Alibaba won't have the proper communication skills or the command of the English language that we're used to here. So sometimes things can be miscommunicated and you won't find out until you receive your inventory in hand. So make sure when you order something, you confirm things 3, 4, 5 times using the most simple English words. Disadvantage number two, for new sellers who are not that experienced and knowledgeable about logistics, some agents can take advantage of those extra costs. But don't worry, I have been working with an agent for the last 4 years and I would be happy to share his contact information with you. Simply email me and I can forward that over to you. Disadvantage number three, long shipping times. Now, because you're getting your products from China, they take a while to get here if you're using sea shipping. By a while, I mean 30 to 45 days. If you want a faster method of shipping by air, you'll have to pay extra to get your products here. So there could be some waiting time between the time you make the payment and when you actually receive the products. This is the downside. Let's get into finding a good supplier on Alibaba. These are the tips that I want you to use before ordering with somebody. Tip number one, make sure when you're working with Alibaba suppliers, they have the verified supplier badge. Tip number two, make sure the supplier is signed up with Alibaba's trade assurance policy. This will protect your payments. Tip number three, work with a supplier who's been in business for at least 1 year on Alibaba. Also, monitor their response time, which is a good indicator of how responsive they are. And remember, you need to be able to negotiate with these suppliers and hold them to quality standards. Reach out to me if you want any templates on how I talk to them. My email is written on the screen. This concludes the supplier section. Secret number 5, the shipping. After inventory costs and marketing costs, your biggest cost is going to be shipping and logistics. It is very important you optimize your shipping, or else your profit margins will suffer immensely. Do not ship with couriers like UPS, FedEx, or DHL directly. They have the most expensive rates. This is what I want you to do instead. Ship with volume dealers. Volume dealers are companies like Stallion Express and ChitChats if you're in Canada, and if you're in the US, you can use companies like Shippo, Parcel Monkey, or even EasyShip. If you're not in either of these countries, let me know. I'll be happy to send you a list of the best volume dealers in your country that you can use. So the process is the same and simple everywhere. Once you make your shipping labels, make sure that the tracking numbers are immediately sent to the customer through Shopify so they can be notified on time. I cannot emphasize enough on how important sending tracking information on time is. It is a great impression that you can put on the customers before they even receive your products. Think about it. You probably love to get your stuff on time when you order from Amazon, from other websites. So make sure that you're delivering a premium experience by shipping everything within 1 to 2 business days. Your customers will love this, I promise. This concludes the shipping section, and as well as this training. The information that I shared with you might be a lot to digest, so make sure that you can rewind and rewatch this training as much as possible. And once again, do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. My email is written on the screen once again. Thank you so much for watching this free training. Hopefully you got value out of it and are ready to kickstart your own e-commerce business. If you're interested in learning beyond this free training, I have a special discount for you. You can use this discount and sign up for my paid program, The Digital Entrepreneur. The Digital Entrepreneur goes much more into depth on all topics that we have discussed today, and as well as many more topics related to e-commerce. You get lifetime access to any materials and as well as any future updates that will be made to the program. You will also be a part of an exclusive members only community that has many like-minded people like you. Some people will be a few steps behind, some people will be a few steps ahead, and some people will be taking the same steps as you at the same time. So it's a great way to network and grow your business. You might have some questions that somebody else can answer, and somebody else might have questions that you can answer. This will also help your business in return. And also remember, you will also have my support as well through things like coaching calls, one-on-one sessions directly with you, and you can even ask me to critique your work anytime. These consultations are free for all my students. Thanks for watching. Cheers.